as we moved through the course of the year, there were additional dollars, and we met that challenge. So we released a number of things in after third quarter initiatives, well over $400 million that needed to be done last year. We couldn't do them, and then we moved the money out to ensure that these projects and people across the province, the different groups that we work with, whether they're school boards or municipalities, knew that they could move forward on those projects. So that's what we did. This year, you can see that revenues are down a little bit from the total, not the budget, of course, because they're up from budget, but they're actually down from the total expenditure that we'll see at year end, which will be just in a matter of 8 days.
Ken Kravets, Minister of Finance. The prognosticating in this world economy
that we see today with the circumstances regarding Libya, that the barrel of oil has shot up. We don't believe that that's going to be a long-term plan. So we've been cautious. We've been trying to build into our budget fair value. We've had consultations with so many firms across North America. We're within the range that we're looking at that other provinces have followed, the federal government. So I'm very, very confident that we're going to have the revenue that we projected. And if by chance, the extra revenue is there were projects that were delayed and deferred even in the planning of this budget. So we'll be able to meet other challenges if indeed revenue allows us.
I want to warn you. I want to ask you about something in the budget from your sense that maybe isn't one of the standout things, but that you're particularly pleased or interested in. But our web editor, Karen Bramley, is doing something interesting today. She's receiving questions from people online and asking them what's important to them. And Karen, you had a question for the budget.
Not a question, but just a comment that I'm asking people online right now if they had to grade the budget, because that's something we've asked some of our guests. If they have to grade this budget, what grade would they give it? What we're seeing so far is that 90% of those who are on our live blog right now are saying that they give an A to this budget. The next answer would be a B and C, but those numbers obviously are much smaller. So it seems that people, at least those who are on our live blog right now, are quite pleased.
Oh, I think I did.
So I just wanted to raise that just to see if people are listening to go on to the live blog to contribute what they think about what this particular budget means to them, what grade they give, and what is the issue that it has their attention. The issue that we saw earlier that has people's attention, at least those on this blog right now, is education and the education portion of property taxes. They want to know what the province is doing, but also the personal taxes.
Well, I think in the area of education property tax, once they take a good read of our budget, we're circulating, by the way, we're going to be sending to every household in the province of Saskatchewan a summary of this budget. We want to make sure that every person in the province of Saskatchewan has the opportunity to review the information that was delivered today. And I think they will be pleased with the fact that we're continuing to move to address the education property tax burden on our people.
Right. So, Minister, there's going to be a lot of focus, obviously, on the tax side of this budget and on the spending side, but budgets are vast documents. And as you've compiled this, I'm curious, are there things that may not get much attention today that you're particularly pleased about or that you think are important?
Well, in every ministry, there are highlights, and it's just not the normal spend. I know that the Minister of Corrections, Public Safety and Policing was very adamant that we move forward with the 120 police officers. It was a promise. We kept that promise. But the other one is, in fact, that we're going to be initiating the construction of a improvement to the Women's Pangrove Center out at Prince Albert. That's very needed, and we're moving forward to that. In every ministry, there was something that is not going to show up. You're right, it's not going to show up as a big broad thing, but it's going to be something that people are going to look at, and they're going to be able to say, thank you. I've wanted this to happen for a long time, and it has now happened.
Minister, thank you very much. Ken Kravets, Minister of Finance.
Thank you for having me.
You're listening to live coverage of budgets 2011 from the rotunda of the Saskatchewan Legislature. Finance Minister Ken Kravets joining us first as he made his way out of the Legislative Assembly, and now also joining us immediately upon entering the chamber is the Premier, Brad Wall. Premier, thank you for being with us this afternoon. Good to be here.
Mr. Premier,
You just had finance minister. I don't know how much I can add from what he had to say. I'm sure he made me a little nervous as to what I might add based on what he had to say, because he knows it pretty cold.
well, okay, so in terms of Karen Brownlee was just reporting online, many people are giving him an A grade, which I did add was better than he ever did as a school teacher, and he didn't appreciate that much. But in terms of the elephant in the room is still, you have an election November the 7th of this year. It's the first time in history we've had a set election date. You've got a budget planning curve, you've got an election curve. What does this do in terms of your government now approaching the end of its first term? How does this budget position you to run an election?
You know, I think the 8 most powerful words in politics, regardless of party, are they did what they said they would do. I think people want to see their political parties and governments keep the promises that they make, whatever their stripe. And sometimes it's more difficult than other times. Sometimes there's